Good morning, one and all. Today I am discussing about Applied Geotechnical Engineering 18 CV62 Module 4 Lecture Series 5 for 6 semester student under Bearing Capacity of Shallow Foundation. Today we are discussing about bearing capacity of shallow foundation, effect of water table on the bearing capacity of shallow foundation. So whenever there is a water table encountered, so the footing may be submerged or it may be saturated in condition. So when the water is above the base of the footing, the submerged unit weight of soil is to calculate the overburden pressure and the bearing capacity of soil reduced by 50%. For any position of water table, the general bearing capacity may be modified as under follows. So let us consider B is the width of the footing, df is the depth of the footing. So when the water table is at depth zone 3, then there is beyond the significant depth. Significant depth means up to that depth the effect of load on the footing will have a stress condition on the soil. Beyond that depth there is no influence of that structural load on the soil. If the water table is at the zero influence of stress condition, then there is no effect of water table on the bearing capacity. On the other hand, when the water table rises at 2, so the bearing capacity will get reduces. The reduction of bearing capacity is calculated by using RW1 and RW2. So RW1 will become 1 because above that soil is saturated, below that soil is submerged. So RW2 is 0.5. When it rises to the top ground level, both the base of the footing and depth of the footing is under submerged condition. Therefore RW1 is 0.5 and RW2 is 0.5. When the water table is in between 3 and 2, so then the effect of that water table will affect the width of the footing in the Terzaghi's bearing capacity equation, that is QF is equal to CNC gamma dF into half gamma B NR. So in this equation, therefore the RW1 will be that is 1, RW2 will be half of 1 plus dW divided by dF. So when the water table rises between 2 and 1, then ZW1 will come into picture. So where this up to this level water table means the soil here is having RW1 value, which is half of 1 plus ZW1 divided by dF. RW2 will be 0.5. Okay. So now same thing we are discussed here. Now let us take a problem to discuss about the effect of water table on the bearing capacity at various water table conditions. A strip footing 2 meter wide carries a load intensity of 400 kilonewton per meter square at a depth of 1.2 meter in sand. The saturated unit weight of sand is 19.5 kilonewton per meter cube and unit weight above the water table is 16.8 kilonewton per meter cube. The shear strength parameters are C is equal to 0 and phi is equal to 35 degrees. Determine the factor of safety with respect to shear failure for the following cases of location of water table. So case 1, water table is 4 meter below the ground level. Case 2, water table is 1.2 meter below the ground level. Case 3, water table is 2.5 meter below the ground level. Case 4, water table is 0.5 meter below the ground level. Case 5 is water table is found level itself. So that is ground level itself. So when it is at the ground level itself, so we have to calculate what is the bearing capacity using Terzaghi's equation. So now for strip footing, the bearing capacity is given by formula CNC plus gamma dF NQ plus half gamma B NR. Taking into account of water table reduction factor for the bearing capacity equation can also be written as QF is equal to ultimate bearing capacity is equal to CNC plus gamma dF NQ RW1 plus half gamma B NR RW2, where RW1 and RW2 are called as water table reduction factors. Now you write down what and all they are given. They said that it is a strip footing sand. Saturated density is 19.5 kilonewton per meter cube. Saturated density, that is, they are calling it as saturated, actually the submerged density is 16.8. So kilonewton per meter cube, saturated density is above water table, this is below water table. Phi is 35 degrees even, it is even though it is less than 36 degree, very near to the 36 degree, therefore we can assume it as general shear failure because C is pure, cohesion is 0. So factor of safety we have to calculate for general shear failure with phi is equal to 36 degree, NQ is 41.4, NR is 42.4, they are given. Factor of safety is given by formula QF divided by QC. So QF is equal to, for C is equal to 0, gamma into 1.2 into 41.4 into RW1 plus half into gamma into 2 into 42.4 into RW2, where QF is gamma into 49.68 RW1 plus 42.4 gamma RW2. So case 1. So for case 1, so RW is half of 1 plus ZW1 divided by DF, that is 1. RW2 is also 1 because it will not affect water table. It is beyond significant depth. And so there is no, you have to consider gamma at 16.8 above water table. Substitute in the equation, you will get 1546.94 kilonewton per meter square. So the factor of safety is 1546.94 divided by 400, it is 3.87. Case 2, when RW is 1 and RW2 is 0.5, QF will become 1248.02 kilonewton per meter square. Hence factor of safety is 1248.02 divided by 400, it is 3.12. Case 3, when RW is 1 and RW2 is 0.825, so that is, you have to calculate average density, that is 16.8 into 1.3 plus 19.5 into 0.7 divided by 2, 17.74. So QF is equal to 16.8 into 49.68 into 1 RW1 plus 42.24 plus 17.74 average density into 0.825, that is corrected RW2 value, that will works out to be 1455.5 kilonewton per meter square. That divided by 400 will give factor of safety 3.68. When the case 4, when the RW is 0.7, RW2 is 0.5, the average, gamma average is 16.8 into 0.5 plus 19.5 into 0.7 divided by 2, 18.37 kilonewton per meter cube. So QF is 18.38 into 49.68 into 0.7 plus 42.4 into 19.5 into 0.5, it will work out to be 1052.5 kilonewton per meter square. Hence factor of safety is equal to 1052.58 divided by 400, it will be somewhere around 2.64. 2.64 kilonewton per meter square. Sorry. So the factor of safety is 1052.58 divided by 400, 2.64 kilonewton per meter square. Case 3, RW1 is 0.5, RW2 is 0.5. So gamma you have to consider submerged density, that is 19.5 kilonewton per meter cube. So ultimate bearing capacity is 19.5 into 49.68 into 0.5 plus 42.4 into 19.5 into 0.5. That works out to be 897.78 kilonewton per meter square. Factor of safety is 897.78 divided by 400, 2.24. You can see factor of safety is drastically reduces. So MCQ questions are: a strip footing 2 meter wide carries a load intensity of 400 kilonewton per meter square at a depth of 1.2 meter in a sand. The saturated unit weight of sand is 19.5 kilonewton per meter cube and a unit weight above the water table is 16.8 kilonewton per meter cube. The shear strength parameters are C is equal to 0, phi is 35 degree. Hence, determine the factor of safety with respect to shear strength for the following cases of location of water table. Water table is 4 meter below the ground level. So the answer is 3.87. Yes, QF is equal to CNC plus gamma DF in QRW1 plus half gamma B in RW2. When water table is much below the significant depth, there is no effect of water table on bearing capacity. Therefore, RW1 is 1 and RW2 is also equal to 1. If you substitute RW1 is equal to 1 and RW2 is equal to 1 in the above equation, you will get the answer. So 1546.94. That divided by 400 will give 3.87. Hence, the correct answer is option A is true. Similarly, for second question, water table is 1.2 meter below the ground level. Factor of safety 3.12, it is true. Third one, when water table is at the pond itself, ground level is 2.24, that is true. When the water table 4 meter below, that is 3.87, that is true. When the water table is 2.5 meter, 3.6 is true. And water table is at the ground itself. So these are all the probable MCQ questions you can expect from this particular thing. So, and we prepared this one by considering the reference books and the textbook from the following authors. I take this opportunity to thank Department of Collegiate and Technical Education officers and students for giving me an opportunity to deliver the lecture in this specialization area. Students, if you have any doubt, you please go through the LMS. If you have doubt, you can ask in the next class. Thank you for attending the class.